I'm just trying to decide if I'm comfortable even talking about that.
This one's wife. There's no point doing this anymore. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Us magazine tells us inside Prince Harry and this one's wife plans for a Hollywood comeback. Year of redemption. How many comebacks has this one's wife attempted to be involved in? How many times have we been told that this is the comeback, this is the rehabilitation of her image? Well, according to Jamie Harkin, the past year wasn't exactly a banner one for Prince Harry and this one's wife. In January, Harry's memoir, Spare, sent shockwaves across the pond, deepening the rift between the prince and members of the royal family. In May, the Sussexes were accused of exaggerating claims they'd been involved in a near-catastrophic car chase with the paparazzi in NYC. And in June, it was revealed that this one's wife's short-lived podcast, Archetypes, had been cancelled, and the couple's partnership with Spotify had been dissolved. An executive at the media company labelled them grifters. They were mocked on South Park and Family Guy as rumours of money woes and marital tension picked up steam. Before the year was out, they were made one publication's list of 2023's biggest losers. But it looks like 2024 is already off to a better start. In mid-December, Harry saw a landmark victory in one of his phone hacking lawsuits against a group of British newspapers. He was awarded $180,000. Well, that was last year, not 2024. And ultimately, as I've pointed out, that the amount that he was awarded was only in reflection of some of his claims succeeding. They didn't all. And the irrecoverable cost element that he's experienced, utilising expensive solicitors and barristers, coupled with the costs of attending court, etc., will easily outweigh the money that he's been awarded. So it's not a lucrative win at all. But Us Magazine goes on to tell us that sources tell us lucrative offers have been flooding in for him and his wife, and that despite being tested, their marriage is stronger than ever. What delightful news! Well, let us find out about how strong this marriage is, and let's find out what those lucrative offers are. Harry and this one's wife are in extremely high demand, says one source, noting that the duo are being courted for speaking engagements, business collaborations, and entertainment gigs. Or rather, this is this one's wife saying, I'm available for speaking engagements, business collaborations, and entertainment gigs. Apparently, they're also thinking of moving from Monty Shit Show, California to Los Angeles to get closer to the action in Hollywood. A second source states Harry and this one's wife think 2024 will be the year of redemption. It's an exciting time for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. According to the second source, this one's wife's team has been turning down offers left and right. Really? What? Such as wanting her to open the Vegan Association of Southern California's annual general meeting, that kind of thing. They've actually been shocked by how popular she is, says the source. Her team has never seen anything like it. She has a few projects pending, and the source says the suit's alum may also be working on a big media deal. The second source says this one's wife is being approached about everything, from film roles to multi-million-dollar endorsement deals with fashion and beauty brands. but her focus remains on philanthropy and giving back. Harry, 39, and this one's wife, 42, launched the Archwell Foundation in 2020 with a mission to facilitate cultural change. The source says this one's wife is currently laser-focused on the foundation, yes, with 1 hour a week, and that everything she considers must fall in line with an Archwell initiative. On December the 11th, the organisation announced this one's wife had debuted the Welcome Project, which supports women-led programming for recently resettled Afghan women. There's also talk she's resurrecting the TIG. Fuck me again. The lifestyle blog she ran prior to marrying Harry in 2018, while the second source maintains that conversations around the blog are ongoing. The first source says the plan is to relaunch the TIG bigger and better than before. Well, nobody's ever said, do you know what, I'm going to relaunch it, but I'm going to make it shittier than it was before. I'm going to relaunch it, but it's not going to be as good this time around. A return to acting is a never-say-never possibility too, says the first source, especially given the recent resurgence in popularity of this one's wife's long-running legal drama Suits after it hit Netflix in July, although of course it's nothing to do with her. Sources say there's talk of a reunion similar to the Friends special that aired in 2021. I wouldn't hold your breath in relation to that for reasons which will become clear in a separate video. This one's wife has been tight-lipped about potentially revisiting the series, but there's hope that if the timing is right, something can be worked out, says the first source. Adds the second, this one's wife would consider it. There have already been discussions. But the source adds, this one's wife is currently 100% more interested in directing and being behind the camera. In 2020, she and Harry signed a deal with Netflix worth a reported $100 million. It then just trots out what they've done so far, which is, of course, as you know, very little. Harry is just as busy as his wife with another book on the horizon. He signed a 4-book deal with Penguin Random House, yada yada, repetition, bringing up the past. Harry and this one's wife want to go in a different direction. They've said what they needed to say with regard to the royals, the second source. They are moving on. They're both being highly selective about what they say yes to. There's this perception that Harry and this one's wife have been snubbed in the entertainment industry, says the first source, but the way they see it, they're choosing quality over quantity instead of grabbing every opportunity that comes their way. They've taken the bumps in the road in stride. Harry and this one's wife feel like everything with them is always blown out of proportion, says the second source. They try not to let the noise affect their lives. If anything, the criticism has only brought them closer together, the source adds. They are stronger than ever. It then goes on about them enjoying date nights at their Monty Shit Show home, being hands-on parents to the 2 children. Apparently, they try not to rely too heavily on nannies, which must be errant bullshit, given the number of times that they are seen without the children. So who's looking after them? Must be nannies, mustn't it? This article is utter pap. And there really is no point doing this anymore. But it shows the desperation and the dogged determination of her narcissism to keep plugging away by saying, this is our year. Almost sound like Liverpool fans. It's our year, la. At least they've met with more success as of late than the Sussexes have. This repeated bleating of, it's going to be our year. So basically 2023 was a succession of almighty fuck-ups, contradictions and failures. But out of that, suddenly you're going to be brilliant, are you? Given the fact that you've demonstrated that you're unreliable, talent-free, charisma-free, work-shy fops, all of a sudden organisations are going, do you know what? What they've produced so far was dog shit. It was boring and uninteresting. And even when they spoke about the royal family, it was just a moan about them. They've no original thoughts between them. Their output is extremely slow. But you know what? Notwithstanding all of that, let's offer them a deal. Nobody in their right mind would do so. And this is just another attempt by the PR machine that is this one's wife. That she wants this nonsense pumped out there. Basically what it should be saying is, I want to be in extremely high demand. I want to be courted for speaking engagements, business collaborations and entertainment gigs. I would love to be really popular so that my team have never seen anything like it. I want to be approached about everything from film roles to multi-million-dollar endorsement deals with fashion and beauty brands. But I also have a focus on philanthropy and giving back. That's what this article should really say, because none of these things have actually happened. How do we know? Because there's no specificity given. There's no particularization of what these deals are. It's that there's stuff in the pipeline shite, future faking. But it's pointless her doing this, because over and over again she has said things on the horizon, things in the pipeline, the suggestion that there's so much more that's coming, and it doesn't happen. They signed up to Netflix and Spotify years ago. There's been nothing in between. All that's happened is ridicule and derision. But here she is again, showing that high level of delusion that this year is our year, despite all the evidence to the contrary. In a perverse way, you might almost admire the way that an individual can just keep going. And that's the nature of the narcissist. And that's why some narcissists eventually do gain success, because they keep plugging away, notwithstanding the rejections and the refusals and the no's that are thrown in their direction. They keep going and going and going until it eventually comes right for them. That isn't going to be the case for this one's wife. She's too prominently known for what she is that people aren't going to risk it. The downside is too great. But once again, we have another PR puff piece which seeks to assert control, and does so with this resurrection approach, which they've used so many times that it's utterly worn out. Anybody other than a sugar reading this article would just think, oh, here we go again, trotting out more crap about how in demand they are in order to try and make it happen, as if to say, oh, look, there's only 3 seats left on this flight, I better buy them, when we all know that that's a lie. Or the tickets are selling fast, so you better get yours soon, when in actual fact, they're not selling that quickly at all. It's just being said that to create a sense of panic, so that people actually do go and buy them. A transparent and nonsensical attempt, once again, by this one's wife to make it seem that she's in demand and popular. But there's no point doing this anymore. We see straight through it. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.